itself. And of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has visited Russia 7 times in his leadership as Prime Minister of India. So we are giving you live visuals as and when they're coming from Kazan, Russia. Thank you for being with us on DD India. We'll keep getting you updated as and when the live updates come. Thank you. So as we told you, the visit marks Prime Minister Modi's second trip to Russia this year, following his participation in the 22nd India-Russia Annual Summit. This was in July 2024, where he met with President Putin and, of course, was awarded Russia's highest civilian honor, the Order of St. Andrew the Apostle. And yesterday, in the bilateral with Vladimir Putin, Russian President, Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended India's hand as a peacemaker to solve the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And of course, Prime Minister said that India values the special and privileged strategic partnership between India and Russia. This was the takeaway of the bilateral between Russia and India. And Prime Minister Modi said that the ties between India and Russia will be further strengthened with the opening of the Kazan embassy. Kazan, we know, is very culturally and it's a educationally important town. We have seen Indian students go there to study at the Kazan University. Kazan is hosting the 16th BRICS Summit. Well, the overall agenda, the theme of this 16th BRICS Summit is strengthening multilateralism for just global development and security. So what Russia is trying to do at the 16th BRICS Summit is also give a signal to the West that Moscow is not isolated. At least 24 leaders are there right now converging in Kazan for the 16th BRICS Summit. What we are also expecting today in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's itinerary are a few bilaterals. These are with the Chinese leadership. Chinese President Xi Jinping is expected to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So Chinese President Xi Jinping arriving also at the venue of the 16th BRICS Summit. Prime Minister Modi arrived there a little while ago. The leaders posed for a family photograph there, and BRICS, initially formed as BRIC after a meeting between the leaders of Russia, India and China in 2006, expanded to include South Africa in 2010. In 2024, the group further grew with the addition of 5 new members: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. So the leadership of the new BRICS Plus also on our screen. Well, the family photograph is now getting bigger. It's including leaders of the new members as well. Of course, Brazil's president is missing in the photograph, but of course he's going to attend the summit virtually. So BRICS summit getting underway officially, the first plenary session underway, and these are live visuals coming from Kazan, Russia. Russian president playing the host here, making his opening remarks at the plenary session. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on the screen. So let's try and connect and understand what's happening in Russia's Kazan with our correspondent Akshay Dongre. Akshay, as the summit is finally, the momentum is building up, and now what we are seeing on our screen, that the plenary session getting underway. We in India are all looking forward to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address. In your assessment, what are the likely areas Prime Minister Modi is going to touch upon in his address, which will happen in some time from now?
Well, one of the most important things that we have seen, and it has been said by the Ministry of External Affairs of India as well, even before the summit started, the focus point has been, of India especially, was about multilateralism. Now, BRICS, we have seen in the past 20 years, emerging as one of the most important multilateral or multinational forums at the world stage. The grouping has now overtaken even G7 grouping when it comes to GDP, according to the purchasing power parity, with a total combined GDP PPP of the BRICS grouping at about 35%, and when it comes to the G7 grouping, they have a percentage of global GDP at somewhere around 30%. So it clearly shows the importance of the countries that are part of BRICS when it comes to the kind of invitations that were sent out this year. In fact, this was a big show of strength when it comes to the BRICS countries, and clearly the relevance of the nations and the grouping in particular has been rising over the past few years, especially ever since we have been seeing the kind of conflicts that have been emerging in the world. The need for multilateralism has been increasing, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, even at the start when there was a bilateral with President Putin, he had in fact highlighted the fact that the end to conflicts that are taking place in the world only through dialogue and discussions, and not through war on the ground. So multilateralism is one of the core agenda. Then also reforms in global bodies is one of the agenda that has been raised time and again by India in particular. Then other issues have been about climate change, about trade practices, about how security, especially the global security in terms of avoiding conflicts and preventing these conflicts that are disrupting the trade around the world or economic growth of the countries. They have to be resolved. So resolution of conflicts, promotion of multilateralism, countries coming together, countries trading with equal trade practices, that is going to be on the top of the agenda. Now, this is also finance has been the economic growth of the countries that are part of this group. But over the years, eventually, these countries have, in fact, become economic powerhouses of the world, especially when we talk about India. It is the world's fastest growing major economy. When we talk about a country like China, it is also one of the major economies in the world. Then you have Russia, then you have other countries like Brazil, South Africa, UAE, Iran, and now members coming in from African continent as well, besides South Africa. So a lot of changes have taken place over the years, and now especially that there is the 16th summit taking place in Russia. Once again, the countries have exemplified that they can resolve their differences and come together as one when it comes to the betterment of humanity is concerned.
Yeah, coming together as one. Thank you, Akshay. But before we let you go, what would you say is the special significance of this BRICS meeting, given the current global situation, the conflicts? Do you see this fora will help in, everybody getting in one voice to solve the conflicts, both in Ukraine and in West Asia?
Absolutely. When we talk about the permanent members of BRICS now, you have two members that are in fact party to the ongoing conflicts. You have Iran that has been involved in conflict with Israel. In recent weeks, we have seen how the tension between Israel and Iran have been rising. So that you have Iran on one hand, and then you have Russia also that has been embroiled in this conflict with Ukraine for over 1 year now. So the countries like India, countries like China, they have been actively voicing, especially we have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi, even in fact in front of Vladimir Putin, he had said and rather reiterated the stance of India that is pro-peace, pro-stability and pro-humanity. So these kind of messages, these kind of voices coming in from BRICS clearly show how democratic the grouping has become, and in fact how it has evolved to become such a large multilateral forum for the world for the world nations to come together and resolve their differences, discuss the way forward. So clearly there are signs coming in that this meeting that has taken place in Kazan in Russia can in fact lead the way when it comes to solving the kind of global conflicts that we're seeing around the world.
Thank you, Akshay, for giving us